Before I get into the video, I just gotta say that if you guys are a fan of the NFL, then go ahead and subscribe to my NFL channel called Reek. I will be doing a lot of NFL discussions and news and theories over there on that channel. So go ahead and check it out if you like the NFL. Now let's get into the video. So today I'm going to be discussing the possibility of having brand new Godslayers introduced within the series of Fairy Tail. Now, we know that the main Slayer type is Dragon Slayer. They basically get to shine throughout the series, but we were introduced to Godslayers a while back, and these guys, they've actually had their shine. So I'm gonna be talking about the Godslayers and some possible new Godslayer people that I want to see. Now, for starters, we got introduced to Zankro. He was a fire Godslayer, and his hype was real because he was able to push Natsu back. He had black flames, everything. Zankro, he was just going in, and I actually do like the stepping stone that he did prove because let's be honest, Zankro was a stepping stone. Natsu had to get over the hump in order to actually become stronger. And I actually do like the fact that I actually like Zankro's role that he played in this series. And then we get introduced to Shelia, and we know that Shelia, I'm not going to say too much because some anime onlys don't know, but even what we haven't seen from even what we've seen with the anime, we know that she was still a very strong person. She was on par. She's basically Wendy's counterpart, let's be honest. So yeah, Shelia, she's been putting in work too. And I also do like the fact that out of everybody, she's definitely the God Slayer that is getting the most shine because we know I just every time I think about Shelly, I just think about a certain situation. But yeah, we know that she's basically one of I guess you could say that she is the strongest God Slayer. That's kind of crazy because yeah, we know the whole thing with the Dragon Slayers. Wendy, she's not necessarily looked at as when we think about Wendy, we don't think of her as being a strong Dragon Slayer, but her counterpart Shelly, she's basically the strongest God Slayer. So yeah. And then we move on to Orga, and I'm not gonna lie, he might have been the most underwhelming God Slayer because we've seen in the Grand Magic games the whole thing, how his fight with Laxus and Juro went down. I'm not gonna get too into that, but his ability wasn't really anything special, to be honest, because yeah, it was lightning, but he wasn't really like pushing back Laxus, if you know what I'm saying. Like the whole Zankro Natsu fight, we know that Natsu, he was getting pushed back, and then the whole Shelia thing, it was equal, but Laxus, he was on a whole nother level, and Orga, he just hasn't been getting that much shine, I'm gonna be honest. But now that we got the three God Slayers out of the way, I want to talk about some of the possible new abilities that I want to see from God Slayers. Now, number one is an Ice God Slayer. Now, I was hoping that we were going to get one of these to kind of be a counterpart for Gray because Natsu had Gagio, and I think that it would be dope if Gray did get to have somebody who was actually used his element, or I guess you could say used his element besides Leon, because Leon isn't really, we already know the whole deal with Leon. He's nowhere near Great level. But I just think it would be dope if we did get to see Gray matched up a Devil Slayer with a God Slayer, Ice versus Ice. That would be amazing. Now the next one is a Darkness God Slayer. Now I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to God Slayer magic, I think that they're more fitting to have like a higher, a stronger element, or I guess you could say a godly element, because darkness, that's basically like controlling everything. So maybe if he was able to use magic similar to Zerv, but yet it was just like in God Slayer form, I think that'll be dope. And speaking on the whole darkness thing, we gotta go with lightness. Now there's somebody in the manga right now who could potentially be a God Slayer. We're not 100% sure, but if he is, then I think that he will be a perfect light Slayer or light God Slayer user because it'll just fit the role perfectly. And I'd actually like, the whole thing with God and light, that will actually fit perfectly. And last but not least would be a gravity God Slayer. Just like I said, God Slayer, whenever I think of God Slayer, I think of gods. We know gravity, the whole thing. Yeah, I would like it if we got to see one of those because that would be super OP, and it'll also serve the fact as one of the biggest problems that Fairy Tail had to face. But overall, that's basically it. What type of elemental God Slayers would you guys like to see? Do you guys think that the God Slayers have been underwhelming? Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.